Hello.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Hey.
Hi, Mike, Rolf, Natalie, Cole. It's like on my phone, so I think that's everybody that I see.
That is
Yep.
correct. Good to see you, Larry. Be
Oh,
careful.
no, I got somebody else driving.
Good. Okay. Good. I didn't.
Yeah.
Where are you headed, Larry?
Down to Pueblo.
Oh,
I'm going to be doing the demonstration for the woodturners meeting down there tonight.
cool.
So, yeah.
Good deal.
There's Shimmy. Hi, Shimmy.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Need to see who's all here. Yeah, Larry, Mike,
Yeah.
Ron. I think everyone is here, other than Barsati. I'll give him a couple more minutes if you guys are okay with that.
Yep.
All right, we might as well start. I don't think Barsati is here, but we have a quorum, so. All right, Manitou Springs Metropolitan District, regular meeting, and it is January 10 and 2024, 3:32. Elena, would you be kind and do the roll call for us?
Yep, once. Director Larry Fox,
Here,
Treasurer Rolf Jacobson.
Here.
Director Michael Graham,
Here.
Secretary Michael Bersati.
He's not here.
Is he excused?
Yes,
And Chairman Shami Shalomo.
here.
Okay.
Thank you. We gotta approve the agenda the way it is. Somebody wants to make a motion?
like a motion to approve the way it's written.
Is there a second?
I second.
That was Rolf.
Correct.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
Aye, that would be 4-0. Thank you. All right, approval of the November 8th. Elena, can we approve all of them one shot? Actually, since some of us weren't there, does it have to be one at a time?
no. I think we can do it all at once.
Okay, you want to make a motion, Rob?
I move that we accept the minutes.
Okay, November 8th minutes,
8th.
December.
13 and the special meeting for December 19th.
Is there a second?
I'll second
I'll
that.
second.
Okay, I believe that was Mike Graham first. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, that will be 4-0. Reports, parking report. I believe we have James.
He's running a few minutes late. I can get started with that.
Awesome. Hi, Juan. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing great, thank you. Good
All right.
seeing you.
Yeah, the revenue for the Wichita lot was 19,617.28. Total transactions we had 3943. Permitting sales we had 240. Citations we have a total of 10. For the Sheminsky lot, we have 4,035.58. Transactions 613. Nothing for permit sales, and citations we had 22. Overall, 23,649 is what we had.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Juan?
Yeah, actually, on the Wichita lot, we had an increase of 450 people parking, but we actually had a decrease in revenue. Didn't make sense.
I'm looking at an increase of $516, Larry, 14% year on year.
No,
Mm,
So I have an
The
answer for
the
that. The difference that you're seeing is in citation revenue that was collected during that month. So last year we had like $1,400 in citation revenue that we collected. Whereas this year we didn't collect, I don't think we collected any citation revenue for this year. So I think that's the difference that you're seeing.
Oh, the citation revenue is rolled into the revenue.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's because that total revenue, that's for everything. So that's kiosk revenue, that's citation revenue and permit revenue. It's all rolled together.
Explain that to me again. Still not sure I understand.
Yeah, so the total revenue line that includes the pay station revenue. So what people are paying at the meter, it includes the citation revenue, and then it also includes the permit revenue. So if we sell any permits.
Why would we have an increase in number of parking, but a decrease in revenue?
So we collected last year, we collected a lot more citation revenue. So people were paying for their tickets more that month than they paid for this year during the same month.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's the
I got it.
difference you're seeing. I noticed that as well, but that's why there's that difference.
I cannot remember
Okay.
exactly when, but we did have some, we hired another company to start sending out tickets so that we can get some of that revenue that was previously collected through the state, but they were not active at collecting. That might have something to do with it too. Sorry,
Okay.
that's Nicole.
All right. Okay. All right. Thanks.
any other questions? Thank you, Juan and James. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Finance report. Hi, Nicole.
Hello, good afternoon. So I mentioned that we would be having, we would have to redo the mill levy. Basically, we already set the mill levy at 0.44 back in October. We got the new numbers in. And so now we have an updated budget that I would like to propose or say it has to be presented by today. And so the change in that, it was 4,889. Now the collections from the county for property tax will be 4,750. It's a difference of $139. Not a real big difference. I don't think that we need to do anything further or make any adjustments for this. And then I understand that there is some property that you are interested in, and so I thought this would be a good time to go ahead and put some preliminary numbers in there. So these are the changes that were made since we just approved it back here in November. So that is what I want you to focus on. If anyone has any questions on the December numbers, I'm open to that. I included the new updated calendar for DOLA, which basically is to do the new certification for the mill levy and the new requirement to submit to the state before the end of the month. We also got our exclusion from audit request, and I went ahead and signed that. So we'll be participating, of course, in that again as required. Do we have any more questions?
None for me.
All right, so our mill levy is going to remain the same at 0.44,
Correct.
right? Okay,
But
Well,
but we do have a slight reduction in the amount,
okay,
a
All right.
reduction of $139.
okay. Well, I should once again mention that we're one of the few governmental entities that lowers taxes.
Thank you for
Started at-
entertaining me.
We
Oh,
started
man.
at 13 and a half mils and now we're at 0.44.
Good job, Larry.
Well done.
Well done.
Mhm. That was good.
Any questions for Nicole?
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, all business continued. Discussion on using QR codes instead of a parking, instead of the kiosks. Larry, you wanted to start with that?
Well, I didn't bring the figures with me, but it seems to me if we wanted to eliminate our employees right away, we save $70,000. If we still keep an employee, we could actually afford to have one, just an employee, at each lot during the peak times. And rather than trying to staff it, the majority of the time that we're open. And if we continue to keep employees like we did last year, we still save, I believe it was around $50,000. Because of the, first of all, not having to pay the internet connection, and then not having to pay, we still have to pay for our, the credit card fee, but we would save a lot on bookkeeping. So that's the thing is,
And do you
it's
guys
going to
want
be
to?
a pretty big money saving things to us.
And do you guys want to start with that over the summer, or after the summer, or before the summer? Basically, eliminating those two or three. There's one at Smishny as well. So, do we want to eliminate all three, and do we want to do that before the summer, after the summer? Which one?
I think if we're going to do it, well, first of all, Rolf and Mike, what do you all think of that?
Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to think. So, I mean, we're going to maybe get rid of the kiosks and just use the QR codes? Is that what we're discussing?
Yes.
And maybe,
Yeah.
okay. I think that's where it's going to head to as far as when we should start it. I'm not sure, but I do think that that's where it's going to lead to. So maybe we need to start it sooner than later if that's the case. Rolf, you got any ideas?
I personally am not in favor of it. I think we are biting big bites right now. We need to consolidate. I think we need to stay status quo. I think the non-kiosk is something that is going to happen. I think it is a year away though, and not now. And I think it's causing tremendous amount of extra work, and we don't have a somebody who would handle it directly. So I am personally in favor of reducing hardware in the long term. In the short term, I would prefer to focus our energies on other tasks at hand. So that's why I am personally against it.
Okay, maybe James or Juan or James can fill us in next month or the month after, maybe with how many transactions are going to the QR code and how many are going through the kiosks. Because, you know,
Did the city
maybe
start it, Mike? Do you know if maybe Juan can tell us if they already started that?
Yeah, we started the QR process pretty much in all of the on-street and our surface lots. But we could certainly separate that data so you can have an idea of, you know, for your lots, how many transactions you're getting on the QR code and how many you're getting on the pay station itself.
One
Okay.
year having both of them operate in the same place at the same time.
Yes, we're doing both.
Right?
and
In the long term, that's something we want to do in the next 6 months to about a year, and that's only because we have a lot of projects that we have going on at the same time. You know, the walkability project, bikeability, and the trams. But it down to like 6 months to a year is what we eventually want to do. Go into just purely the QR code. It just takes a lot of planning for that.
And you
the
already
meantime-
started
But
how
for the
long ago?
meantime,
I'm just wondering if we can start by eliminating the cash transactions.
Yeah, heck yeah, I was the only one who wanted to do the cash, so
I think maybe
do
Yeah.
that immediately if we wanted to.
Uh, my question is, first question is on the kiosk, will we, if we do not go to the QR code this year, will we need to replace any of those kiosks this year?
They're still working, so I would say no.
I think
Okay, 'cause
maybe
that was a considerable expense.
It is in the budget for this year. That's all I will say.
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I don't think we need it in the budget really, but I think we do need Juan to tell us either next month or the month after what the trend is, because apparently from what I hear from Juan is that in a year or year and a half, we're not going to have any kiosks in downtown Manitou. Is that right, Juan?
well, we will have them like in the busy areas because the whole purpose of the QR code is to allow people, especially during the summertime. We don't really have an issue like during the wintertime, during the off-peak season. But during peak season, we just want the people to have the options to have quicker options to pay. So that's why we have both in those busy areas, you know, the kiosks and the QR code. But in areas, you know, like in zones where there's not a lot of like in our economy zone, that would be a good idea just to remove all the kiosks and just have nothing but the QR code.
Well, this is really interesting. So Larry is definitely ahead of what I was. So it seems
Well,
like they are moving towards that, which is great. This is seems like a great news. So I'm more on board than I was originally, but I don't see any. I'm still. I'd like to
well,
digest some things right now.
yeah, well, Ralph, I'm not opposed to waiting, considering that we, are trying to purchase a property and all of that.
Think we're losing you, Larry.
What?
I
Can you
wasn't
hear
able to
me?
hear you. Now I can.
Okay, I'm not opposed to waiting another year because of the development of trying to buy the property next to the Smithy lot. And, to not do too many things all at one time. I do want us to keep in mind that, what our savings is. And it's huge. I mean, if we have a potential savings of about 120,000 a year. And considering what our profit is, that's an enormous amount.
So yeah, I'm starting to really agree with you
So,
too.
but
So that is the trend we need to go, Larry, is to go that way to reduce our expenses, to reduce our employees and the complexity of it. So I'm getting more and more in favor of it. Maybe we could revisit even not in a year, but in a month.
We can
all
definitely do
right,
that.
well, let's do that. Let's look at it in another month. And meanwhile, if Juan can tell us, the experience that they're having with between the kiosk and the QR code, how that's actually working out.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
I
we
think
can
that's a
actually,
good idea.
and both
Okay.
James and Juan could give us their next month, give us their opinion on the whole thing about going over sooner rather than later. So
Okay,
if we
and
could
also
table
then,
it for a month.
all right, and then next month I'll be at home, and then I'll have the figures for you as to exactly what our savings are.
Thank you.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
That
no
would be
good.
kidding.
okay. New business. Update on the property that we are under contract for. There is a company that sent me already a bid for a survey, a full survey. It's an auto survey, and it is around $8,900. The difference between that and the survey below it, one with less information, was around $1,000. So I thought it would be smarter for the $1,000 to go with the most efficient one that would mark everything for us. And then also we have a bid from a company for asbestos, to see if there is any asbestos in the property as well. And that was around $5,000. So both are going to be performed here in the next probably somewhere around 2 weeks, the next 14 days. And then we will know a little bit more about what we have to deal with if there is asbestos, and if there is, what would mitigation be. Those are the only two updates I have about the under contract property. If there's any questions, I can. Yep, Rolf.
Yes. So how much of the deposit did we put down?
I did not catch that. Go ahead and ask again.
Did we put a deposit down or a down payment, or what did we do when
We,
we signed the
we,
contract?
we put an earnest money check, and it's for $10,000.
Great. And what were the dates of closing possible? I know they get stretched out, but what dates are we looking at for closing?
It's looking at sometime in February, but it might move forward a little bit. It all depends on those tests for asbestos mitigation and stuff like that, if there is asbestos.
Okay.
So
And when would we be able to
Where do you go?
inspect and tour the property?
as far as what?
I'd like to survey the entire property ourselves, take a look at it to see the uses and possible salvage or reuse and things like that. So the sooner the better that we could actually see the property. He's still living there?
I believe there is someone on the property, yes.
There's a truck there.
Go ahead.
There's a truck there, I know, all the time. So
I believe he's there. I'm not sure if he lives there, but he does spend some hours through the day at the property. I know that because I've walked by it multiple times, and he is there. I don't know if he sleeps there or not. That I haven't checked. I've never went and knocked on the door either. I think it would be smart to kind of run the survey and the asbestos and see where we're at after that. I think it would be safe to say that if there is no asbestos, we're good. If there is some, we will have to get a quote and how much it will be to be removed. And after that, that's the key. That's the key here. If it's gonna cost us, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to mitigate that, then it might not be worth it. If it's gonna be something less significant, then we will come back. It will be easier. It will be a lot easier to decide on. And then if you wanna, at that time, if you wanna tour the property, we can ask for it. You got to remember that it's not ours, and it's going to be that way until closing. So
understood. And when is that inspection period set? When is that
I
over?
will send you a little paper with all the dates, Rob. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I can definitely forward it to you.
Excellent. So thank you. That's it for
Yep.
me.
Yep. Absolutely. Any other questions? All right. Next item on new business is consider adopting resolution number 0124, a resolution adopting and revising the budget for the year ending December 31st, as set out in the Manitou Springs Metropolitan District 2023 budget, and adopting the annual budget for fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, establishing appropriation of the necessary expenditure of the district. I believe Nicole needs this to be approved today. Nicole?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve exactly what I just read. The adopting of resolution number 0124. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. That would be any opposed, just to make sure. That would be 4-0.
So I'm going to ask a favor.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
have Mark Borsati there as a second signature. Since he is not here, Rolf, can we volunteer you to come in and sign that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So
Wanna do it
if
tomorrow?
Jimmy and Rolf can come in here so I can get it to the state before the end of the month, that would be great.
Absolutely. I'll write a note right now.
By there tomorrow.
I will be by there tomorrow. Great.
Thank you.
Okay, and then consider adopting resolution number 0224, resolution establishing the location for the posting or notices for the Manitou Springs Metropolitan District of Manitou Springs, Colorado. Who added this? Is that you, Nicole, again?
This is not me. Is Elena still with us?
Okay.
I'm just guessing she had a short conversation with me and she didn't realize that you guys had your own website. So she wanted to establish that she would post the information on City of Manitou Springs website, since that's where she is posting information and has no rights to your website. The one that
Okay.
Kyle set up for you.
Okay. Is she with us still?
I don't see her.
She doesn't like us anymore? 1 second.
You're her favorite person.
Yeah. No, she's not here. She's not here. I don't see her. Okay. Tell you what, do we need to, question is, do we need to approve it or does she,
I don't understand it really, but what that
I'm
means.
not sure. The only thing I understand is maybe she needs permission, like Nicole said, maybe put it online, but as far as I know, we're publishing it in that little thing by the Wichita lot in that information board. But she might need this as well.
I can't provide any more information. I'm sorry. I don't know.
And since we don't have too much
I
information.
mean, I know that, I don't know if this helps, but like, I know that in council, same thing. We have to approve where we're posting it and it just has to be official. And then she handles the rest. So I don't think it's a big deal, but I think it's probably a legality that has to be, I think it is a time, I think you do have to do it this month.
So it's a DOLA requirement, probably.
So I think even if you change it next month, you might have to approve it this month.
Okay,
Does anyone else
let's-
have any, I don't know if anyone
Mm.
else can weigh in on this, but
Yeah, I don't have nothing else. I got nothing
yeah,
else.
so I mean, again, I don't want to tell you what to do, but I would recommend potentially passing it this month. And then if you want to redo it next month, you could, but just so that I think there's a time
Yeah, I
constraint.
think the time limit for sure. It will be
Mhm.
smarter to do that. So, Um,
Is this something we do every year?
I don't remember.
I don't
We
remember,
haven't.
that I haven't seen before.
No.
but it might be a new requirement.
Uh,
Okay.
So I guess it maybe really doesn't matter if we approve it from what Natalie's telling us.
Well, she's
I don't
saying
know.
that there might be a time frame for this, and that's why Elena added it. Let's go ahead and, if it's okay with you guys, let's go ahead and approve it. And then if there is a problem next month or after I speak to Elena, we can change it next month. Is that okay with you guys?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. I'll move forward and adopt the resolution number 0224, resolution establishing the location for the posting of notices for the Manitou Springs Metropolitan District of Manitou Springs, Colorado. Is there a second?
I'll second
Second.
it.
Okay, I believe that was Larry. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? That would be 4-0. Okay, thank you guys. Any public comment?
Well,
Mike,
this isn't a
go ahead.
public comment,
Not
but I do
public,
have
okay.
one question that I should have asked before when we were on the first resolution, and that was this page 31 of 32. And Nicole maybe can tell us what's going on here, but the Metro Fund balance, it says is 506,000. What is that? What is that with some big amount of money removed or what?
No, a big amount of money hasn't been moved.
Okay, no, I'm just saying, is this 506,000? Because the memorandum you gave us in November was 829,000.
That's not what we have in the account, I believe.
So
Mike?
what happens is this is, if we spent all the money that we said we were going to spend in
Okay.
this budget year, then that would be the fund balance. You did not spend all the money, but we can't budget for exact amounts. So that's where that difference comes from. Does that make sense? What you
Not
actually have in the
really.
bank and what we have as far as this document is concerned. So for 2023, we have in the budget that we are going to spend $241,000. That's not going to happen.
Well, wait a minute. This is last month or last year. Fund balance 2023 is at the top left corner
And
of that
then
page.
with the new assumption of buying this property, it's going to go down to 100 and something thousand.
Okay, but we actually have got like almost $900,000, right?
Not quite. We don't have enough money right now that we could buy this outright. No, that's why we're looking.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, here's the memorandum that shows 829,000 in November. I mean, why is it different?
The reason it's different is
Okay.
because that's what's actually in the bank right now. It does not account for the amount that's been budgeted that will not be spent.
Let me ask a question, Nicole, just so Mike can hear it in a different way. Can you tell us how much money do we have in the bank at the moment, please?
I have to look.
What's Mike saying is last month you gave a memorandum that was showing $800 and something thousand. He would like to know what's in there right now with the month of December revenues. So I believe that's what you have.
And on that memo, you have to remember that it's both the Metro and it's the Conservation Trust Fund money in there as well.
You
So
got it.
Don't forget that also.
Mhm.
Well,
And
the
you got
Conservation Trust Fund is only at 10,000 or so.
Correct.
Yeah. But I
just
mean,
Don't want you to not consider that.
I think it's odd. I think it's just odd that it was reported to us that we had $829,460 back in November, at the end of November, and now we've got $506,000.
We
I
we
mean, if
don't
we
really have
actually,
500, Mike. I don't believe.
I mean, we didn't disperse $300 some thousand, did we?
We did not.
No,
So why is this 500 and
Turn right onto Colorado 96 West 4th Street.
The amount of the difference is what we have in the bank and what we have not spent yet that is showing in the budget.
On Colorado
Money that
96.
we're not going to spend. But it's in there just in case we need it. So for instance, when the discussion earlier, oh, we have it in the budget to purchase more kiosks if needed. But you stated earlier, oh, we don't want to purchase those. It's in the budget as a just in case, but we won't necessarily spend it. That money's still sitting in the bank.
That's just the budget document, not our balance sheet.
Correct.
So totally
Correct.
different. So that's just the budget saying 500,000, but we're closer to 800,000. So I think that's, yeah.
And Mike, if you want, you can come in and we can talk one-on-one. Again, here anytime you want. Well, if I'm here in the office.
I think he's still looking for
No.
amount for what we have at the moment, Nicole. If
That's
you don't have it,
okay.
I can stop by tomorrow and I can grab it from you. Because you usually
Great, and
send
then-
a memorandum that says it, and we did not get it this time. Am I?
So just for the Metro, it's showing 829, 459 right now.
Great.
829, 459, because that's like $1 less than it was the end of November. But
So maybe she
anyway.
did not update December.
yeah.
Nicole.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I just, trying to understand this resolution, and you haven't been able to explain that to me, but that's okay. We'll do it on some other day, I guess.
We can walk over there and have a chat. How's that,
Okay.
Mike?
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any other questions from anyone or public comment?
In a quarter mile, continue straight
All right.
onto Colorado
Thanks,
96
everyone.
West.
Thank
The
you.
meeting is adjourned.
You bet.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Mm.